Josh Klog had to fight his way to victory at Sebring in round 2, narrowly escaping the clutches of Chris Wetz in the final lap. He was practically locked to the rear bumper of Klog as they crossed the checkered flag. Will Klog or Martel be the first driver to win 2 rounds this season, or will we see another driver emerge? We'll find out tonight. Round 3 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge begins next. Our venue for this evening is the virtual Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. COTA, as it's often referred to, was the first track in the United States that was purpose-built for Formula One, and it's hosted its first race in 2012. We've opted to use the shorter west configuration of the circuit, 2.6 miles in length, 17 corners, 10 to the left, and 7 to the right. We take a look at our track map, rounding the infamous, I guess, replica of Turn 8 of Istanbul, Turkey. Final couple of corners, crossing the line here in Austin, Texas. Our format for this evening is as follows. We're on track now for qualifying, which will set the grid for our 45-minute feature race. All the cars are running a fixed setup with no traction control or anti-lock brakes. We're capped at 7 gallons of fuel to begin the race, so there will be 1 mandatory pit stop for each. The inaugural season of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge continues tonight on the Automotive Sports Network. With Bryan, Sawyer in the production truck, Justin Robichaud next to me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, still under the weather, so I apologize for any mishaps this evening. We welcome you live to round number 3 tonight. Our series is proudly brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota. Toyota's vision for a mobility society and Toyota Mobility Concept focuses on extending the value of the car, expanding mobility into new realms, and integrating mobility with social systems. In line with this framework, Woven will help Toyota to develop next-generation cars, including advanced BEVs, and to realize a mobility society in which everyone can move freely, happily, and safely. For more information on Woven's role in Toyota's vision for mobility, visit woven.toyota today. Our coverage all season also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Our cameras for the entire season are provided by TrekCams22.com as well. Justin, it's been a few weeks. I'm still struggling with this sinus infection, so I'm glad that you'll be able to talk for a minute. I'm reeling over the last few laps of Sebring. That was round 2. How are you? And what are you thinking tonight for this race?
Oh, Josh, I'm flat out pumped for tonight. I mean, not only has it felt like an eternity since round 2, but you know how I feel about Circuit of the Americas. I really love this course. The flow of the S's, in my opinion, turns like 3 through 5, 3 through 6. It's probably the most fun you can have in any sector of a course in any car. And, you know, it's obviously... most of this track is replica corners from many famous tracks, and they also went counterclockwise, and this track is just incredibly, like, very mentally exhausting, and you know, especially when you have someone tailing you, it's easy to lose focus, and you know, you've got nearly 20 corners. The opportunities for mistakes are going to be plentiful tonight. One thing to note too, Josh, is incident points. This course is notorious for strict track limits on the outside, and with drive-through penalties at 20 incident points, I expect to see at least a couple drivers fall victim to that tonight, Josh.
There's certainly some banter in the Discord about that one. Coming into today's race here in Austin, Texas, Josh Klog on top of the points table. He's got 13 points ahead of Francois Martel. Looks a lot like the Rallycross points table with those two at the top. Chris Wetz, Samian Ragster, Dalton Lott, David Schofield, Brock Quinn, Jared Lott, Jess Rakowski, Frank Klein, the top 10. won by Toyota Racing with 132 at the top of the Constructors Championship. Uneven Gaming Motorsport 124. Pocket Sand Inc., which is Josh Klog all by himself, sits in third. Team Watson Racing and True North Esports rounds out the top 5. We're in qualifying now, and again, I know I said it twice already. I am going to probably be muted more frequently than normal, and coming off of that wonderful sickness that I had over the weekend. And so, Justin Robichaud, you might be talking a little bit more than normal, but I got my water and I got my tissues, so I'll save the details.
It's all good, buddy. We got you. We'll get this show on the road. We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight. This course is just a lot of fun to watch. I mean, those S's. It's a quick, very quick. You're moving and you're just going left, right, and then back to a hard left. It's gonna be a sight to see. I think we're gonna see some people lose it there. You smack that curb. These cars, we'll take it, but they'll send you shooting way up into the air. We're inside Edwin Webb right now.
As we ride on board the 818, I just want to give a public thank you to Philip Kraus and Cody Erdman for picking up the slack for the NASA Rallycross Supercars broadcast on Monday. And I do want to give a quick, alert to everybody. I recorded the lights broadcast from Wild Horse today, and like a dummy, I didn't save the commentary file, so that broadcast will not premiere Saturday. It'll probably be Sunday, but my commentary from Iowa will say it was right. It's confusing. I'm really good at my job, and I blame it on being sick. So, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas, great circuit. We're looking right now, I think we're looking at Edwin Webb in the 818, right in front of Jess Rakowski. They're coming out of the stadium section. That section there, if I remember correctly, resembles the Hockenheim Stadium section. This long quadruple apex corner replicates Turn 8 in Istanbul Park in Turkey. And then these final couple of corners, I don't think they actually replicate anything, but they did name the final corner the Andretti. Not the Andretti corner, just the Andretti. Of course, paying homage to Mario Andretti, as Francois Martel, 1 minute 45.138, 6/10 of a second up on David Schofield in the 27 is car number 12. Taking the momentum from the Rallycross Championship, Justin, and running away so far here in sports car practice, or qualifying.
Oh yeah, you know he's riding a huge high tonight, and I'm not really surprised to see him up top there. I rode in practice with David Schofield earlier in the week, and he was just lightning fast and very consistent. And that's something you're going to need to be here tonight, though. You can be at the top of the standings, but you're going to need to be very consistent, very conservative on your tires. The tires are going to wear a bit harder here. Those fast side sweeping corners, and especially the S's, are going to scrub really, really hard, especially driving at the limit. I expect, maybe some drivers to take 2 tires tonight if they're not feeling very comfortable with how the car's feeling late in the race. Very curious to see how that's going to shake out. I know I say that every week, but pit strategy is just very fun to me.
Have you watched a rallycross race where I say the same stuff every week because I know that crazy things happen?
Yeah.
Sabian Ragster currently in third. A couple notables. I think Cody Erdman making his first start and maybe his second start this season in the 52. Luke Solberg, who you'll have to pick me up on this. I can't remember how he's related to Petter Solberg, but that's pretty cool.
It's his dad's cousin, I think, is what he said. I can confirm that, but he is a distant relative to Peter Solberg, who's a very famous rallycross and rally driver.
2003 cool. World Rally Champion, the last World Rally Champion for Subaru, I might add.
A phenomenal driver. And if you think of rallycross and you think of rally, you definitely know that Solberg name. So very cool to see someone of his stature, of that name, just drop in here. So we'll see how he does tonight.
As Martel still fast, as Schofield has improved his time, 1 minute 45.5, but he's still, let's call it 4.5 behind Martel in the 12.
I think I'm going to get an off track every lap.
Ragster in the 91, 100th slower.
That's the best flow
than Schofield. Chris Wetz, Dalton Lott, the top 5. No Josh Klog. So you had our intro bit written up about Klog, and Klog's not here.
What do you know?
The man from Maryland, he didn't race lights in Wild Horse, and he didn't race today, and I don't think he raced Monday either. So not sure what's happening for the man from Maryland.
Yeah, technically speaking, he's got 5 minutes to get in here and get the car out on track and at least make the race. But I don't think that's likely with the way it's going. And I'm quite surprised. I did spot him in practice. Maybe he just doesn't like the course. Maybe he wanted to skip. There's no drop weeks, so we'll see how that shakes down. He's sitting third. He's a single driver, and he's sitting third. I mean, a win helps there, of course, but that's a huge loss for tonight.
As, like we mentioned, the points leader, actually.
Yeah,
so
he is by a pretty good margin,
13 points, so no points leader tonight. So Francois Martel and Chris Wetz are going to be basically de facto tied for the points lead. There's 1 point in it. Ragster and Lott are tied with 74, like we mentioned earlier on. So no clog, and it's going to be fairly interesting as we have 4.5 minutes left to go here in qualifying. As we've been flapping our jaws, Chris Wetz has gone faster and nearly eclipsed Francois Martel. 1 minute 45.273.
He's
a tenth and a half down from Martel.
He's right there, and actually, he was just in chat today asking about times, and based on the times he was giving us in practice, either the weather's playing a factor or was playing a factor in his practice, or he's just figured something out. Oh yeah,
locked it up, ran it wide. I'll have to
still be
abandon
figuring
this
some
lap.
things out.
That's scary to see Wetz pushing like that. He's got pace left in that 71. The man from Texas
trying to
get it done.
And he's only got a few minutes left, really. On a track like this, he gets rolling. He maybe has 1, possibly 2 laps left.
Such a long lap. Both of us were on track for the open test. I was a couple weeks ago, or maybe a week ago. And this track, I ran 5 laps, and I was 5 seconds off the pace. And I said, well, there's a reason why I'm not driving this car, and it's because you have to fling this car through, I was going to say the S's, but really every single corner. As it looks like, taking a look at Jared Lott in the 37 coming off the Andretti final corner.
Just a bit of oversteer there too.
Off the final corner, and now up the front straightaway, up to turn 1. Such an incredibly unique turn 1 here at Circuit of the Americas. Super wide. We see in the NASCAR Cup Series, every lane being used. Certainly an opportunistic spot to overtake. Very tricky to spot your apex. Down the hill, and Justin, it's headed towards the S's.
Oh, the S's is a beautiful section. You come up here on the right, ride the curb quite hard, and then this is tricky because your first apex here is a little bit blind. You don't get a very good look at that first curbing, but if you set up nice and smooth and he hits the curb just a little bit, you want to be really smooth on getting the weight transferred from left to right to left again, and then back in through here. If you touch that paint on the outside of the right there, you get yourself a 1X, and then right there's a nice big dip in the road before you hit turn 9 and come out on this back stretch, and I think this will be one of the bigger opportunities for passing tonight. There's lots of room. It's a hairpin. I've seen drivers go inside on people on practice. I think we'll see quite a few moves in this little shakedown of the sector here.
The end of the first sector, the beginning of the second sector, so the S's to that little cut between the shorter layout. That is one of the most crucial spots to get right because of those little orange sleeping policeman curves on the inside of the S's. And then that dip, I mentioned I was 5 seconds off the pace in testing. The car gets so light. You need to be on your game and knowing what you're doing with these cars. If you mess up that entire sector, you're going to be 5 seconds off like me. So let's take a look and see. Let's take a look and see what Jared Lott does on this lap. Ragster has gone quicker by 600 slower than Martel, Justin.
6/100s. He's just clinging on. He found something there, and he's going to use it. See, the nice thing about Circuit of the Americas is there are a lot of lines you can take. The track is so wide that you can take 2 different lines and probably do a similar speed. A lot of people are going to lose their time in the S's for sure. That's a high-speed corner that's going to be very unforgiving to a driver who's not driving the car on the limit. And if you're driving it on the limit, you're going to be smacking curbs. Like we're on Savian right now, and he just gave one a little tap, and he's a little loose into that turn here. Unbelievable. He's riding on the absolute limit, trying to get another lap in here before the qualifying session's over. Maybe take a P1 from Francois if he's on a hot lap at the moment.
Yes, be sure to join the conversation in our chat on YouTube. It's a little bit more free to be able to to engage with the chat here compared to Rallycross. So we'll take a look and respond to any questions or any shout-outs that you may have.
Lots of love for Jared. That's why we're basically riding in car with him. There's a ton of love for Jared Lott, and that extends to Dalton Lott, his brother, as well. So great to see lots of viewers out supporting those brothers in their venture here. Dalton's been a solid top 5 performer here, and really just itching to get a win. You can tell it's just right out in front of him. He just has to find that groove.
Qualifying checkered flag is out. We can complete our laps. Crossing the line was Luke Selberg, 1 minute 47.5. He remains P8. Francois Martel way wide. That lap is over. That's it. Ragster crosses the line, but he is on a cooldown lap. So that is pole position by the slimmest 0.0.
Oh my goodness.
1.
Wow. He was on a bit of a hot lap, but just not quite enough.
Wow. Robichaud and DiGiacomo both on cooldown laps. Unless they're not, they're going full speed.
There might be enough run. There might be enough run. I think what we figured out last week that as long as they cross the line with some time left, they can get a lap in, right?
Edwin Webb, Eli Sasak, Luke Solberg. Solberg has the checkered flag, so he is for sure on a cooldown lap.
A lot
Jake
of desperation
Robichaud.
in those last couple corners. Plenty of people trying to push that corner and going wide.
Oh, Brock Quinn complained mid-corner, lost the car. DiGiacomo crosses the line. It does not count his lap. Edwin Webb crosses the line, 1 minute 47.3. So the 818 goes to 11th quick. Let's see if Eli Sasak will cross the line and improve his time. Cross the line. 1 minute 46.8. P7, he remains.
Not his best. Not his best. Just by a 10th. And it looks like he's
Ragster
going to
get
park
another
it.
flying lap?
It's very possible.
He seems like he's on a heater, so I might have spoke too soon. We'll have to wait and see. Will the man from California sneak pole position away, or if he even is on a hot lap? Final couple of corners. This is looking like a hot lap, Justin.
It is looking like a hot lap, and he's very close to completing it, actually.
Pit lane.
And he's down to pits. Yep.
We were wrong. Still doesn't have any numbers. I don't understand what's happening with him in the iRacing service, but it is what it is. So,
yeah, we tried to get that fixed today, too, so...
Pole position.
We'll keep working on it.
Here in Austin, Texas. Sabian Ragster, Chris Wetz, David Schofield, Dalton Lott, Jared Lott, Eli Sasak, Luke Solberg, Brock Quinn, Jess Rakowski, Edwin Webb, Cody Erdman, Frank Klein, Justin Ament, JP Ramos, Jake Robichaud, and Joseph DiGiacomo. 17 cars, 45 minutes here in Austin, Texas. I just want to go through a couple programming notes before we get rolling here in Austin, Texas. You'll see NASA Rallycross lights round 8 in Iowa on Saturday, and the commentary will say it's a double feature. The Wild Horse race will be pushed probably to Sunday because I'm a goof and didn't save the commentary that I recorded earlier. I have to re-record it tomorrow. And round 10 of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge will be in Sonoma. That'll be Monday. Myself, Cody Erdman, Philip Cross, Bryan Sawyer for that one, 9 p.m. Eastern. And our next round, because of the scheduling issues, we will be...
Good luck, everyone. Have fun.
We'll be racing...
Make sure to get 22.
Next week at Mid-Ohio. It'll be round 4, graphics incorrect. I cut you some slack there, Bryan.
Good luck, everybody.
As myself, Justin Robichaud, and Bryan Sawyer
Good luck.
for that one. As everyone grids up, Martel, Ragster, Wet, Schofield, Lott, the first 5 cars on the grid. And Justin, I would ask you what you're expecting, what you predict, but this is NASA, my friend. We don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. And I love that. It's Savian Ragster is probably on my radar tonight. I mean, I expect Francois to come out and just turn a perfect race. So, I mean, really, it's up to Chris and David and Savian to chase him down and dethrone him at this point. So, with no Josh Clogg, that puts Martel on the...
Sorry about that. My wheel was pointed the wrong way, I guess.
In the points lead. 1 point ahead of Chris Wetz. Ragster Ragster is 12 down from Wets. Him and Dalton Lott, I should say. So 17 cars, 45 minutes. Thanks for joining us on the Automotive Sports Network. Be sure to like and subscribe. We do have the on-demand show for lights on Saturday, Supercars on Monday, and the GR86 Sports Cars on Thursdays on ASN Live. And safety car way up the road. Field's going to be in the hands of Francois Martel, Sabian Ragster on the front row of the grid. And the first 2 rounds of the championship, absolutely scintillating, from Tsukuba in Japan to Sebring in Florida to Austin, Texas, United States, Circuit of the Americas. Whether it's Rallycross, Formula One, NASCAR, in the real world, this venue always puts on a show for the last 11 years, just like North American Simulated Auto Racing does in the last 11 years. If you'd like to join us, nasasimracing.com. But sit back and enjoy myself, Justin Robichaud, Bryan Sawyer, bringing you the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge, Round 3 here in Austin, Texas. Safety car to pit lane, Francois Martel, Sabian Ragster, front row of the grid, off the final corner, as we will go green in Austin, Texas.
Just about. They are really bunched up.
Late green flag in Austin, Texas. Martel jumps over Ragster. Chris Wetz looked to the left, to driver's left, thought better of it, into the slipstream. We're 3 wide in the back of the field. Dalton Lott, Schofield, and Jared Lott down to turn number 1. Martel, Ragster, Wetz, 3 wide still. Lott, the Lott brothers are sandwiching Schofield. Lockup was Ragster into turn 1, side by side. Sasak and Lott. Then it's Solberg, Quinn battling with Rakowski and Erdman, the 2 sequential cars in the back of the field. Into the S's for the first time. Martel's got a car length lead over Ragster in the 91, a couple car lengths back to Wetz. Lott offline in the 45, gets passed by Schofield. Now, we're going to make the left turn, cut through the shortcut. Sasak passes Solberg. Rakowski looks to driver's left to Solberg. Left-right chicane. So tricky to get right, Justin. On the back straightaway and down to the stadium section.
Oh, and around goes Cody.
It looks like Erdman in the 52. So the former Rallycross champion not having a good day. Ragster up front, looking to the inside of Martel. Straight away on the 12 is the 91. Put the man from California to the lead for the moment, but Martel's going to have the momentum on the driver's left on the inside to exit the stadium section and round the quadruple turn right. And this is what's fascinating about Circuit of the Americas, Justin. You go over, under, and a move can last for laps.
Yeah, and the other sequential SimSport car, and Jess Rakowski just spun right there as well on that turn 13. And we actually had a driver in the driver's meeting talk about and gripe on that corner, so that's unfortunate right there at the end.
There's a car between them. We'll take a look still at the race, battle for the race lead, as Rakowski did spin off monitor. So leading at the end of the first lap will be Martel, a couple car lengths ahead of Ragster. Of course, we're already going to talk about lap time, half a second up on that first lap. And Wetz hanging off the back of the top 2. We got Schofield, then we have Dalton Lott, Eli Sasak, Luke Solberg, Quinn, Klein, and Justin Ament. Inside of Solberg went Quinn, thought better of it. Bryan Sawyer's making fun of me off monitor for some reason, probably making lap times on the first lap of the race. I do what I want. It is what it is. I can barely hear what he's saying. Welcome to NASA on ASN. Oh, Bryan broke the fastest lap graphic, so welcome to ASN. Where it kind of works.
We've got a tie. We've got a tie for fastest lap.
Speaking of,
we'll get that fixed.
As Martel trying to pull away, or he is pulling away from Ragster. Ragster had a good run. Martel overruns the corner there. Well, you said it was turn 12.
But it's still a blanket under the top 4. Look at these guys. They're all within a reeling distance, and this lap is, like I said, so long. There's so many corners. There's 17 corners, so lots of room for mistake.
Our length between Martel and Ragster. Long time left, of course. 45 minutes in this race. Only one lap, or only basically 2 laps in, and the laps are almost 2 minutes long. So expecting a pit stop halfway through, of course, depending on how you manage your fuel. And it's going to be all about strategy, I think Jake Robichaud has spun off monitor in the 69. He didn't. He got loose coming off of, I think that's turn 15.
He still saved it. He's still there hanging on with Jess right there at the back, who spun earlier, and now she's just trying to claw her way back. The field is quite spread out at the moment. Like you said, the long lap times, and we expected quite the spread, and this is really just kind of exposing that spread. And we've got drivers hitting into turn 1 right now, all the way back to the straightaway. So just a nice clean line and a couple battles forming.
Ragster deeper into the corner than Martel did. He gave up a little bit of time. He was half a tenth up that last lap.
Oh, we got Cody Erdman in the 52 is just running. He just ran past JP Ramos, and he's hard on the inside, deep on the brakes, fighting his way back after that spin.
Ooh, car complained under braking in the 52, did the former rallycross champion, but he took the spot, the man from Wisconsin, and now his sights set on Edwin Webb for the 11th position. Gap is ebbing and flowing, of course, between the top 4. Chris Wett's having some connection issues in the 71, so not having the best of days, but some guy named Francois Martel's having a great day so far as he leads so far. We take a look.
Hey, I mean, he's having a great day, but Savian Ragster's right there in his rearview mirror, and you know he's just going to stick there for a little while. And we'll see if that gap spreads out, but if it doesn't, you know, Savian's a driver that's going to come in and make you sweat a little bit.
It's Sasak and Lawton battling for 5th. We take a look at Martel versus Ragster. And the track limits, we talk about that often. Whether it's the the red and white curve or the green AstroTurf, this track's so tricky. Erdman deep on the brakes in turn 16.
Oh yeah, well, we can watch that battle too at the same time. But we've got Cody Erdman, who's just really aggressive on the back of Edwin Webb right now. Took the turn deep, but he's 2 out. He might have lost the momentum on the straightaway, though. They're going to go side by side. He might try another move. He was really, really aggressive in a turn 1 last lap to make that move on JP Ramos. Let's see what he does here. He's in the slipstream.
Battle for the lead on the right. Battle for 11th on the left. Edwin Webb versus Cody Erdman. Erdman did this move last time around with JP Ramos deep on the brakes. The 52 closes the door. Did Webb in the 818. I thought there was going to be contact. But
and I think there was just a little bit of a nudge there through the corner, but they keep it clean.
Just a pinch. Hello, I'm here. I want to take the spot.
Right. He's, like I said, just really, really hungry for his positions back.
After both sequential cars looped it on the opening lap, the 52 of Erdman and the 999 of Jess Rakowski. Rakowski in the 15th spot. Erdman, I think Edwin might be holding up Erdman and Jared Lott and maybe even JP Ramos, as Luke Solberg in the 11 off monitor.
Ooh.
I thought it was.
Yep, that was. He comes in on the inside and
off the corner.
Yeah, just kind of got right in the way of the apex on that corner, getting in the inside. He meant well. He came in and said sorry up on the radio to the drivers.
Gonna try it at the exit of the stadium. One car around its Frank Klein in the
and
45,
he's too wide.
Or the 33, sorry. Erdman's going to lose the spot to Webb. He's going to lose the spot to Lott, but he's still there.
Holding on.
Car. Ooh.
Holding on the inside. This is a full throttle corner.
Car complaining. Maximum amount of grip between Lott and Erdman. Erdman's going to have to give it up. Lott plowed the way through the corner. I thought the car wasn't going to turn, and he's going to try to the inside of turn 17. Webb deep, very early, sorry, on the brakes. Brake tests Erdman. Schofield has passed, or sorry, I think, no, Schofield holds off Wetz, excuse me there. I'm just taking a look at the front of the field. They've gotten a little bit closer as we still look now at Erdman versus Solberg. Solberg slipstreaming in the 11, down the inside, deep on the brakes, and he hit Webby Will! Contact with the 11 and the 818, and the other sequential car involved as well.
A couple others involved there as well, you're right.
That was a pinch too over aggressive. If we can take another look, Justin, it's all yours.
Yeah, you can see here, he just makes the dive, gets really late on the brakes. It didn't look like he was fully straightened. If he kept the car straight, he might have been able to get slowed up, but just too hard in. There's nothing really he could do except make contact. But yeah, that's unfortunate. You get a couple other drivers there in the mess of it as well.
As I think, just taking a look off monitor, I think Jared Lott has looped it at the end of the S's from the 9th position, as Erdman and Solberg battling now for the 9th spot. Shout out to Justin Ament sitting in 8th. He had a terrible race in Sebring. He is surviving with his connection issues in the 8th spot. As if you're just joining us, go ahead, Justin.
Oh, go ahead. You go.
If you're just joining us, welcome to the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. Justin Robichaud, Josh Mertz, Bryan Sawyer, the production truck, here at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, as we have 36 minutes left to go. Just took the green flag a couple moments ago. Francois Martel, Sabian Ragster, Schofield, the top 3. They are 5 seconds ahead of the 3rd place car, and there's only 6/10 in it here, Justin.
Well, yeah, and Sabian is showing up tonight. He's really hanging on to Francois Martel and just staying right there, like I said, in his rearview bumper, in his rearview mirror. David Schofield's falling back a little bit. I'm a little surprised to see that. Chris Wetz is just hanging on there in 4th place right behind him, but they're both still in it. If there's a mistake with these drivers, even Dalton Lott and Eli Sasak are just right there behind as well. That battle in the top 6 is honestly surprisingly close. I really didn't think there would be that many fighting that close.
Webb pits the 818. I'm taking a look off monitor. Jared Lott, Joseph DiGiacomo, and Jess Rakowski. This is for the 14th position between DiGiacomo and Lott, battling like it's the end of the world. I mentioned in every single rallycross show, every car, every driver battles like it's for the race win in NASA Sim Racing, and that's what makes it so unique to race with us. If you're interested, in NASASimRacing.com. A couple car lengths now between them as we take a look and we ride on board Jared Lott here, looking to the inside maybe, and he's going to take the spot on DiGiacomo in the 55. Will DiGiacomo, the man from New York, try and take the spot back? Doesn't look like he has the momentum, Justin.
No, I don't think so. And this is a tricky sector here to make a pass. If you're back a car length, there's really nowhere you can do it. This is essentially past this braking zone right here. You're full throttle most of the way with some lifts and a break into a blind corner. After you come through this sweeping right, you're basically full throttle here, and then coming up to a blind left-hand corner. You can't really see the apex, but you've got a curb that you kind of have to drive over on the left side here to get any good momentum getting into that final corner. As he comes up on Jess Rakowski here, actually.
As I'm taking a look
up on the inside.
Sasak and Lott as well. Those two battling to the inside. Lott goes on Rakowski. Yeah. That's for the 14th position or the 13th position. Then we have Solberg battling Erdman. Solberg made that move a couple moments ago. And then we have Sasak versus Lott. So battles all over the track here at Circuit of the Americas, and that's what makes this track great. Like we mentioned earlier, just so many spots to overtake, and especially, I don't want to call this car slow, and we mentioned this the first couple of weeks. It's just so, I don't know if nimble's the correct word. It's just so easy to race, so forgiving, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it is. It's very, it's quite loose. So, I mean, if you're hard on the brakes, especially with no ABS, it can be quite unforgiving in that regard. But the car is, like we mentioned, slow. It's just got a kind of a slower power band, so it's going to get to its speed a little bit lazier than say a GT3 car. But fun to drive is an understatement. They swing and sway, and a great car to learn car control with weight movement and transfer. It's why it's a free car on the service and why it's an entry-level vehicle.
As Lott, Rakowski, DiGiacomo rubber banding together, as Justin Ament having the worst connection issues in the 6. He is bouncing back and forth on our timing monitors so bad that Bryan Sawyer said, something happened to Justin. Nothing happened to Justin. He just went back to cyberspace, one car around. It's Ramos in the 64.
Yeah, a bit of a nudge there. Hard to tell if that was due to the blinking or not, but
I don't know if we can take another look at that, Bryan, just to see. Looked like Klein off monitor as we caught the tail end of it.
Yeah.
Ramos just tried to stick
there we
deep
go.
Move. That was never going to work.
No.
And around the 64 goes.
No, you really had two cars in a pretty bad position there, trying to both make a move and just survive and come together, and that's just it.
We look between the battle for 9th between Erdman, Ament, Solberg, as Erdman spun Solberg had some contact earlier on. Justin Ament bouncing in and back and forth between cyberspace. I'm going to say publicly, I have not seen that replay graphic until this show right now. Thank you, Bryan Sawyer. What great work that we have to institute those replays, and such great work behind the scenes of the Automotive Sports Network between Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, and Bryan Sawyer. You might have posted it. I didn't pay attention. I was busy working. Bryan Sawyer, Jess Rakowski, Victor Valley, all doing great work behind the scenes at the Automotive Sports Network to bring you next level sim racing coverage. And I want to turn our attention to the race lead. Martel and Ragster, their best laps, 1 minute 45.059, 1 minute 45.089, and they are within 4/10. But if we look down the timing screen, the next closest car for the best lap is Ragster Set's fastest lap.
Oh my, a 144.
It's on, Justin.
Oh,
it's on for the race
unbelievable.
lead. Deep on the brakes and turn one.
Oh my word, a little bit of contact there. Just a nice little nudge to let him know he's there, and he figured something out, Josh. 100% figured something out.
You always tell me, unless I butchered this, that Sabian just shows up and drives the car. He rarely practices.
Oh, for rallycross, for this, he's hard into it.
Okay.
This is his love. Yeah, he's really fighting. That's why I say week in he's gonna get quicker week in and week out. And he's a driver, like I said, even through a race we'll find something. And either Francois is losing something, maybe he's overheated a tire, or he's making some mistakes and losing focus, or Sabian found something. But this is a spicy battle here for first.
Two different things that are going on right now. David Schofield, no slouch. We talked about him the first 2 weeks of the season. Are these two that much faster than him? Which I doubt. Or is Schofield saving tires? You talked about tires being an issue potentially. So with that pit stop having to come into play, we remember from the EMSA E-Roval days where you had to manage your charge with the Porsche Mission R. We had some guys that were driving so slow they didn't have to pit, or they had to take a shorter pit stop. Dare I say it, that Schofield's saying, go, run your stuff. You guys can squabble. Have a good day. Bye. And then just sneak into the lead later.
I mean, I don't think he loves being in this position, especially having to rely on that so much. But David Schofield definitely strikes me as a guy that does his homework and does his laps. He's always in the practice sessions we post up. He's always doing great time. I mean, he was doing a lead follow with me a little bit, and that was a lot of fun. I learned a lot about the track just doing that. And I totally expect him to make a surge. And you know what? This is another track where your pit entrance is going to be pretty key too. It's a hard turn. You've got a bit of a run before you need to brake. So, we could see a little bit of a delta.
Off.
No, go.
Battle for fifth. Dalton Lott is defending on Eli Sasak. He pulled drivers left down the front straightaway. Those two, Sasak was 0.3 of a second up on Lott that last time around. We still also focus. I love this, guys. We focus on the battle for the race lead on the right, battle for fifth on the left. I appreciate all the work you guys do. Rakowski pits in the 999. Bryan, you just might have to move that graphic somewhere else for the later broadcasts. But we got two battles. Welcome to NASA Sim Racing on the Automotive Sports Network. And Eli Sasak had a much better run. Thank you, Bryan. This is great. Sasak looks deep on the brakes. Can he make it? No, he can't. This is fascinating stuff, Justin.
And we're going to go inside with Eli Sasak right now while he's driving on the bumper of Dalton Lott through a pretty pivotal section here.
Couple car lengths, make it a car length and a half. Behind Lott is Sasak in the 9 versus the 45. We see the first bit of strategy with Rakowski in the 999. Looks like that battle might have fizzled out. We'll try and keep an eye on that one. Battle for the lead still raging on. Car length between Mark Dragster on, now on the main feed. Schofield and Wetz, I think, are saving their stuff versus these two up front, using up all of their stuff. As let's get a running order update. Martel, Ragster, Schofield, Wetz, Dalton Lott, the top 5. Eli Sasak, Brock Quinn, Cody Erdman, Luke Solberg, Frank Klein, the top 10. Jared Lott, Joseph DiGiacomo, JP Ramos, battling DiGiacomo potentially for the 12th spot. Jake Robichaud, Jess Rakowski, Edwin Webb, and Justin Ament. We have lost the man from Arizona. I think he has fallen out of the server in car number 6.
So it's very possible. He started letting off and letting some drivers by, so I don't know if he's feeling the effects of the internet connection. Either way, you chalk that up to hardware faults or an electrical issue with the car, and that's a race night done. It's unfortunate. He was excited about the league, excited to get in, and to see him have a couple bad results is never a good thing.
He did comment about wandering around Home Depot for an Ethernet cable, and I was wanting to tell him. I was wanting to tell him, as a former Big Blue employee, won't name the name. You should have just asked. You should have just asked me. I would have told you where to go for an Ethernet cable. Race lead. Don't talk over each other.
Oh my goodness gracious!
For the race lead.
Unbelievable.
Ragster on the outside. Martel. And we talk about anything can happen because at the flick of a switch, it could happen in NASA Sim Racing, and now Ragster looking for a way around, and Martel cooked the rear tires, Justin. This is not going to be beneficial as we ride on board the hood of Savian Ragster.
And you can see Savian peeking out, and he likes to do that for two reasons. He likes to go and check his braking zone, and it also kind of shakes the driver up a little bit. You see a driver come out and kind of peek out into your left like that off of your mirror, it kind of gets you spooked, and if you do it at the right time, maybe you mess up a braking zone. Here we go. Is he going to make a move?
Drivers left. Pulling alongside. Will we have a pass for the lead on lap number 12? 25 and a half minutes. Ragster to the lead. Will Martel. Martel's got the run off the corner. You can't pass through the S's, or can you? You talked about the drivers' meeting. I wouldn't pass in the S's, but will Martel do it? We'll have to see. Maggots and Beckett's is what it's modeled after in Silverstone. And looks like Martel bides his time. Wetz has gotten by Schofield also for the third spot, Justin.
Look at that. And that's a surprise to me, too. I mean, like I said, we talked about saving tires, but I couldn't see David Schofield giving up a position like that to Chris Wetz this late in the race, even if he was saving tires. So that's hard to say. I mean, we'll see how it all shakes down after the pit stops, but he's starting to fall quite a bit behind now if he wants to fight for a lead, in my opinion. I mean, that battle up front's pretty spicy, but they're not really killing each other on time like you would normally see. Just there's so much room on this track. Francois Martel still really close to Savian Ragster, still holding on.
Learn from his mistake.
Yeah, hard to say if he's got tire issues too. Maybe he's overheated the rears a bit with some spins and mistakes.
Car lengths between them, between Ragster and Martel. As we take a look at Jared Lott versus Frank Klein. This is the battle for the 10th spot. If we could also potentially pull up that battle for the race lead.
We got them both. Yep.
Lott looked drivers right, faked him out, looked drivers left. And I'm like a kid in a candy store when the side-by-side gets pulled up. So much so that I hate to do this, but we're halfway through this race. And, we'll wait another minute here before we have to step aside. I hate doing that, but Frank Klein and Jared Lott battling for the 10th spot, and we do have that battle for the lead subsiding. Edwin, in what is happening? He's trying to get out of the way and blocked Schofield, who was battling with Wetz.
Oh, no.
On the left side, we've got a battle between, at least I thought, it was Klein versus Lott.
Yeah, we got that up there.
So,
that's on me.
I genuinely hate to do this, but we are halfway through the feature. We have to step aside for just a couple messages. We'll be back shortly here in Austin, Texas.
You're so interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
outside, nearly 3 wide of Met and Palacio.
Thank you.
Front bumper of a Betty down to turn 2. Clog takes the lead. The Real still has him jokered inside. Clog on McKenna. Contact between them. Well, Romain Rateau has led all evening long, but Schofield to the inside, and he makes it stick. Funny story about Bryan Sawyer.
We welcome you back. Cut you out a little bit early because we do have pit stops. Francois Martel pits. Welcome back to round 3 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. Bryan Sawyer in the production truck. Justin Robichaud alongside me in the commentary box. My name is Josh Mertz, live on the Automotive Sports Network. Just a reminder, series brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota. Mobility to love, safety to live. For more information, visit woven.toyota today. Coverage also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Finally, cameras for the entire season provided by TrackCams22.com. So, Justin, Francois has cycled out in front of Erdman. We look at Ragster, or try and find Ragster. If you're Ragster, you gotta pit now.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to have the clean air a little bit, to be honest. If he can ride it out, I might just keep riding it out. But yeah, that's the decision. I don't know what's going on in his head. Savian is very much likes to have a strategy going in. So he likes to go at a certain time and know when he's going. He's using auto fuel tonight, so we'll see how he goes with that.
Just an update down the field to Giacomo and Ramos pits. JP Ramos pulling a Sebastian Vettel China 2016 and passing to Giacomo on the pit lane entry. Yes! That's incredible. What a cheeky move.
And yeah, let's go back and take a look at that because that was incredible. No penalty either that I see.
Just like Sebastian Vettel in China in 2016, he passed 2 cars or 3 cars on the pit lane entry. That's no penalty. It's all good until the cones. So what a move for Ramos. We've got Ragster pits, Schofield pits as well.
Yep.
So Ragster exits. Where is Martel? Martel is rounding turn 17. If we can take a look, we're looking from high above. You'll look for the black car on the left side near the scoring pylon. Martel, as now we take a look at Martel. Where is Ragster? Ragster exits the pit lane. He got out in front of DiGiacomo. Martel's going to have the run up the hill. Ragster's going to have the preferred line. It's going to come to a head down to turn number 1, and the battle for the lead as they come together. It might be all about
runoff.
Ragster gives him room. Martel holds the lead.
Yeah, it all came down to runoff in turn 1. Runoff. Unbelievable. And a second faster pit, I'm hearing down from Bryan, yet half a second faster pit. So you factor that in. It really came down to a pit and some good runoff into an awesome uphill turn 1.
Car length between them, and the battle is on for the race lead. So let's we're mid-pit cycle, so we won't do a running order update. I'm just trying to flick through the field, finding a battle. Frank Klein and Eli Sasak battling for the 9th spot. As we take a look still at the battle for the lead, we want to bring back my favorite box to bring back 2 battles at once because there's so much action happening. Frank Klein and Sasak and Ragster and Martel.
Frank Klein and Sasak are at it again. There was a bit of a pit strategy. They did it a couple laps apart, back right at it.
Battle for the lead on the right, battle for 9th on the left. And once again, thank you so much, Justin Robichaud, Victor Valley, Jess Rakowski, for the stuff you do behind the scenes for the Automotive Sports Network. Sasak deep on the brakes on Klein. Look driver's right, can't make anything happen. If he can stick it on the driver's left. He'll have the run exiting the stadium. Over under, gets the run off the corner. Klein shuts the door.
He might get a bit of an outside line here.
Sasek says, no thanks, I'm just going to do
Over
that
under.
anyways. Klein
Over
tries
under.
to defend, leaves the door open, and Sasek, oh, they're going to be side by side through this right-hand corner. Put your hard hat
And
on.
this is a no-lift right-hander. They're just going to be running that slip angle, and he's going to go on the inside.
Klein pushes wide to the inside, goes
Right
Sasek.
in the corner.
Sasek's going to have drivers right now to turn 16 inches between them, and Sasek
So clean.
to the final corner, and Klein
And he
pits.
he goes for his pit. I was mistaken.
Wow, that doesn't
I thought
matter.
Frank
That
had
was
gone
still a
out,
great
but
battle.
wow.
So Quinn exits the pit lane. And will he be battling Sasak? Solberg's pitting. Erdman exiting the pit lane. Battle for the lead is still, as I try and refresh it. So Wetz is yet to pit. Martel is 7/10, call it half a second between him and Ragster.
And Schofield's quite a ways behind as well.
And
Thanks
for joining us
So
all evening long. Be sure to like and subscribe to the Automotive Sports Network. We do have NASA Rallycross Lights on Saturdays, NASA Rallycross Supercars on Mondays, and the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge on Thursdays bi-weekly. And this has been a thrilling race. Just under 15 minutes left here at Circuit of the Americas. Chris Wetz pits in the 71. I don't know where he'll come out. He won't come out with the race leaders, but I think he'll come out battling Schofield. We'll just have to wait and see. The field is coming up, or I say the field, Martel and Ragster are coming up to Edwin Webb and to JP Ramos. They are both off the lead lap already, and they're going to get blue flags again. Wetz is stationary.
I'm watching
in the
Wetz.
pit
He's
lane.
not moving, and he's not going to come out ahead of these guys. Not even close. He's already behind now.
Exits the pit box, exits the pit lane.
He's
There
actually
is
gonna
no
fall
gap
behind Schofield.
between the
Maybe.
race leaders. And Wetz holds the
Nope.
spot
He's going to come
ahead
out
of
ahead.
Schofield.
Yep, he is. Yep.
Into the S's on lap number 18 for Francois, Martel, and Sabian Ragster.
By a good amount. Schofield's got a bit of traffic in front of him to deal with as well. So there's a bit of a spread there from fourth to fifth, or third to fourth.
Quarter of a second. Martel missed the first part of the little left-right chicane through the cutout. Ragster got a better run through the corner. Does his signature fake.
Checking it out.
Down to 12. Looks, Martel's going to defend. Not sure where to go is the French-Canadian. And Ragster psyching him out in the 91.
He's messing with him for sure. And I don't know if Francois thinks he's trying to make moves or what, but there's definitely a little bit of aggression right there. Francois definitely getting a bit loose, just a little wiggly on the exits. He's pushing pretty hard.
So now what's tricky, Justin, is these two ahead of them are racing for position for the 14th spot, Ramos and Webb, but they do get blue flags. So I'm not sure what's going to happen. I say that you're the owner of the series, don't you know? I have no idea how the blue flags are going to work when you're racing for position. Ragster's got the momentum off of turn 16. Can't make anything happen into 17, but if you get the slipstream down the front straightaway, this might be a battle for the lead. Edwin Webb, drivers left. He might let them by, but we remember when there were blue flags, he got in the way of Schofield and Wetz that last time around as we take lap number 19. Will Ragster send it? Down into turn number 1. Martel hit the brakes, pointed the car left, and I thought that was going to end in tears for the French-Canadian. They get by Edwin Webb, no issue.
Unbelievable. It kind of make you wonder if he's driving that way on purpose to maybe psych Sabian back out himself with some weird braking maneuvers and some different turn angles. Who knows? Turn 1, you can do so much with it. You can enter it so many different ways and still be fast, and he kind of proved that there.
I've raced
Losing
against
some
Francois.
Speed in the S's.
I haven't raced against Sabian in the lights because he hasn't raced in the lights, but I've raced against Francois in the lights. That's contact with him and Ramos and Ragster to the inside. I was just about to say if Martel knows how to do it, mind games that is, and now it's still a battle for the lead. Martel backed up the corner. They're going to be side by side, exiting 12 into 13. Martel holds drivers left. If he can hold this corner, no, he can't. And Ragster to the lead, and there's damage on the front end of that 12 car. Will Martel try and stick it down the inside on a dive bomb? Car length between them and Ragster back to the lead, Justin.
That's unfortunate. You got to wonder if he's got a bit of aero damage too, which is going to affect that straight line speed on the final straight. I'm going back now trying to take a look at what happened. It just looks like JP wasn't comfortable coming out of that corner, and Francois just came out way faster than he probably anticipated, and I don't know if he was looking in his rear view or what, but he slammed into JP Ramos, and you can see it right there on the front of his car.
We know my thoughts on blue flags, so I'll hold my opinions there.
Yeah.
And it'll be very very unfortunate if a battle for the lead is ruined by a lapped car. As we take lap 20, Luke Solberg saying nice. I'm not sure what happened. Off monitor, him and Frank Klein came together. Oh yeah, they came together. Klein tried to pass him in the S's and turned the 11th car.
Oh, wow.
Not sure if we can try and take a look.
Have a peek.
Perfect timing. And just tried to send it on the inside. Not sure what was happening.
Just lock up, it looks like to me. I'll roll back and we got it here. Yep.
It was net code for sure, so there was an air bubble between the two cars, but still, I'm not sure why you would try and pass there right then, but we're getting late in the race, so just right about 10 minutes now left in the race, and Martel is a second away from Savian Ragster. The chance at victory might be slipping from his grasp.
Yeah, I'm just taking a peek at it now off monitor, and it doesn't look as bad. Definitely a netcode issue, but we'll see what comes down the pipe for that.
He's got a huge gap over Schofield, so that battle's pretty much settled. Really isn't any battle aside from Klein and Rakowski now for the 10th spot. And now, as JP Ramos pits in the 64, we'll have to take a look at lap times for this last 10-minute stretch, and Martel is 3/10 down on Ragster that last time around. So I know Martel, when he gets angry, and focused, Ramos penalty maybe for track limits in the 64.
Yep, and I'm actually looking at the incident points now, and he's there. And the next driver in line for that is Frank Klein at 18. So if he gets another couple, we're going to have our second one very soon. A few drivers poised to do some in the next few if they don't tighten it up a little bit.
I'm taking a look, just keeping an eye on the field, keeping an eye on the battle for the lead. Rakowski and Klein still battling for the 10th spot. Car length between the 33 and the 999. And Martel, I say the ridiculous words of like car body language, right? And I can tell he's furious. He's mad. He lost the lead out of something out of his hands.
Right.
With a lapped car, trying so hard. He was deep on the brakes in turn 12, trying to make something happen. And Fino Francois, from the lights races and from the races and supercars that he's won, he doesn't like to lose races, especially when it's not out of his control, I should say. So a couple car lengths, and we got under 8 minutes, Justin, left to go.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it too. I'm seeing exactly what you're seeing, and I think he knows that he has to take a breath, because there's still, I mean, I don't want to say a lot of race left, but there's enough to make a move if he's patient. This track is, like I said, there's 17 corners here. There's lots of chances for someone to make a mistake, and I don't know what Savian. I don't think Savian took any tires based on the box times. I don't think anybody's taken tires based on the box times except for Luke. Here we go, like into turn 1. This is where a big move is going to happen. A big chunk of time is going to be lost.
I wasn't trying to cut you off, but he was 6/10 up at last time around. Car complained mid-corner, missed the apex by about half a car width. Did Martel in car number 12. Wetz comfortably in 3rd. Schofield in 4th. Not missing anything there. Lott gets by Jake Robichaud in the 69 off the lead lap. And
I've been watching this battle between Frank Klein and Jess. Yeah, they're still 1 car length apart, fighting hard.
As I know, perfect timing for a sponsor plug, but our partner TrackCams 22 did provide our cameras, of course. These are the same cameras when the V8 supercars were here at Circuit of the Americas in 2013. So we do want to give a shout out to our partner at Track Cams 22 for that one. Thank you, Bryan Sawyer, for that tidbit. Under half a second is the gap, Justin. We've got just over 6 minutes left to go. And I'll tell you what, I'm glad that I'm not as under the weather as I was earlier in the week, because this is a fantastic treat to end this sickness that I've been getting over between Savian Ragster and Francois Martel.
Oh, and it's not even done yet. We still have a few more laps to go, and you know, Francois, like you said, he's driving with a mission. He's pushing that corner really hard, and he's gonna try and make a move. He's gonna do his best anyways. He's falling a little bit behind there. That last lap, it looked like. Take a look at lap times here in a minute.
We cross the line to end 22, 1 minute 45.651, 1 minute 46.1. I think Martel might have cooked his tires on that flyer that he did when he was 0.6 up. So you got to cool your tires down.
You know it's not aero. You know it's not aero because he put up that heater with all the damage. So it's definitely tires. He's pushing a little bit too hard, trying to catch up.
Overheating.
Sabian's just kind of smooth.
Overheating the tires in the 12. I don't want to... by no means is it done, but when you get that close, granted, we saw 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when Wetz and Clog came so close, we thought it rubber band 4 times before the checkered flag. So we've seen crazier things in NASA sim racing. Battle for 10th has subsided. Klein has pulled away from Rakowski, so we still take a look at the battle for the race lead. 3/4 of a second between Ragster and Martel. And Ragster has not won in NASA sim racing competition. Of course, Martel, the newly crowned Supercars champion in Rallycross, numerous wins in Supercars, and won the inaugural race at Tsukuba in Japan about a month ago now here for the Sports Car Challenge. So Ragster trying to get his name in the record book for the Sports Car Challenge, Justin.
Yeah, and this is a fresh record book, and hopefully it is a very, very deep one when we're done. This has been a very, very fun time, and we're only really scratching the surface of this beautiful, dramatic soap opera that's been written with these drivers here, and the storylines that are building up. We have Josh Clog not showing up for a race, and a little bit of drama up front that might even see Savian Ragster win his first race, so we might even see the third different driver. And it's just, it's interesting to see the top 5 bounce around like that. You've got strengths and weaknesses in every track, and they seem to eat away at the drivers. And I'll tell you right now, if we get a different winner every week, that would be that'd be fine by me. That's kind of a neat way to go about a race season. Let's keep it neck and neck.
Ragster, gap is 1.7 seconds. Gap is lengthening as we are under 3.5 minutes. And I know I mentioned Rallycross so often, as it's our bread and butter, or was our bread and butter, as you like to say, here at NASA Sim Racing. But the record of someone only winning from the first 2 rounds of the championship in Rallycross, that has stood for 11 years. That didn't happen for the first 2 rounds. It was Martel and it was Clog. So I guess the record, whether it's sports cars or Rallycross, has stood for 11 years, that you don't get a couple repeat winners, or you don't have someone who wins more than the first 2. Words are hard. I'm still sick. But it's certainly fun. Once again, if you'd like to join us, nasasimracing.com, and be sure to like and subscribe here on the Automotive Sports Network. We still 2.5 minutes. I'd call it maybe 2 laps. Edwin Webb going to get lapped again in the 818. And I don't want to call it over, but Martel looking like he's waving the white flag here, Justin.
Yeah, he's dropping off substantially. I mean, that last lap, he was only 0.2 down, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're on the straightaway here and you're just thinking about it, the 0.2, it starts to chew away. And we're gonna look at the timing again here, just on the last, and we did a 1:45.3 from Savian and a 1:46.6 from Francois. So something didn't go quite right on that last lap for him, and it's really just awfully showing right now in the giant gap that's formed. This one's looking like Savian's to lose at the moment.
Just flicking through the field to see if there's any battles going on currently. There is not. Everyone's pretty solitary, I guess you can say. Ragster, Martel, Wet, Schofield, Lott, the top 5. Brock Quinn, Eli Sasak, Cody Erdman, Jared Lott, Frank Klein, the top 10. And in my lights commentary that got deleted, I said those kind of tracks is where you race the track. And what I've noticed is, at least here, and maybe I'm crazy, but because it's a longer track, in these cars, you're really racing the track.
Yeah.
Unless I'm crazy.
No, you are racing the track. Like I said, that there's a lot of focus required just to make it through turns 3 to 9. Like the S's right through the shortcut out turn 9. Like I found myself in just practice sessions when I'm doing lead follows, you lose focus and it's over. There's a very small margin for error when the car's going so fast through the S's. You lock up, you slam a curb, and it's just done. You're driving close, especially if you're driving close. Wow, there's a few times I had to check up really hard through the S's, and you can't upset the balance when you're doing about 120 kilometers an hour, whatever they're doing for speed through those. It's just a high flying corners, and very easy to lose focus.
Barney throws the white flag. We take the white flag here in Austin, Texas. Sabian Ragster. And what's crucial, let's be biased for 2 seconds. Factory car hasn't won yet. And that's a storyline that we haven't mentioned, unbelievably. Right. We've been so focused on the battle for the lead. A factory woven by Toyota car has not won a race. And I'm going to be biased with NASA. It's appropriate that the longest tenured driver of the factory team, Sabian Ragster, is leading this race. It's all my buddy Kevin would say, the stars have aligned.
They have, and I'm pretty excited for him. I don't want to, maybe we shouldn't talk about it too soon. We don't want a commentator's curse, but assuming he takes this home, I'm very happy for him. He's going to be incredibly excited. I expect some light flashing and maybe some funny little dances with the car when he passes the line. But I hate to be a homeboy too, but it's very, very cool to see him come through with a win. I know he's been fighting hard for a win in this series for a while. I don't know. Does he have a win in NASA Rallycross? Do we know that?
He does not. So
there you go.
Martel has tried everything he could. A couple of issues, contact with JP Ramos. It was not to be. Final couple of corners. And it's not only going to be a first-time winner in the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. I love it when there is a first-time winner in NASA sim racing in general. And I won't spoil Wild Horse. Off the final corner, Sabian Ragster will finally take the checkered flag first. He wins in Austin, Texas.
Yeah. We've got some
potty mouth.
Where's the beef in there? Martel. Wetz comes home in third.
Good race. Thank you.
Schofield in fourth.
Congrats.
Dalton Lott rounding out the top 5. Brock Quinn, Eli Sasak, as everyone filing in to complete our order. As Quinn's going to come off the final corner to take the 6th position. Eli Sasak will follow Jake Robichaud home for the 7th spot. JP Ramos off the lead lap, just trying to find everyone here. Francois Martel just immediately disconnects, probably to join the media pen. That'll be a very, very uplifting but yet sad interview for our champion-elect in Rallycross Supercars.
Yep, it's going to be bittersweet.
Erdman comes home in the 8th spot, the man from Wisconsin. 9th, Jared Lott. I lied to you about the battle for 10th. Klein and Rakowski. This is going to come down to the final couple of corners between these two. And I know Jess Rakowski will send it in the final corner to get this top 10. I think she's a little bit too far back. Will Frank Klein hold the spot in the 33? Rakowski does not send it. Klein 10th, 11th Rakowski. 12th in his debut will be Luke Solberg in his first race in NASA Sim Racing. Jake Robichaud, JP Ramos, Joseph DiGiacomo, Edwin Webb, and Justin Ament.
Hey Frank, did I do something to piss you off?
No, sir.
Yeah.
As we turned off the radio, I'm just listening off monitor. They were figuring out, was there a little bit of a disagreement as Solberg got turned by Klein there that we took a look at. So we will try and have a chat with Wetz, and I'll grab Martel. We'll take a look at the results. As forgive me here on a live feed, but they keep talking and I cannot focus because my brain says, just kidding, you're still sick. I have to mute it. There we go. Now I know. Now I can hear. So we get confirmation of our results. Sabian Ragster, first-time winner in NASA sim racing, whether it's rallycross or sports cars. Francois Martel second. Chris Wetz in third, rounding out the podium. David Schofield, Dalton Lott rounding out the top five. Brock Quinn, Eli Sasak, Cody Erdman, Jared Lott, Frank Klein, Jess Rakowski, Luke Solberg, Jake Robichaud, JP Ramos, Joseph DiGiacomo. Not featured. 16th was Edwin Webb, and 17th, Justin Ament. So I'm going to bring in our third place man, Chris Wetz. And I'll have a chat with Wetz and Francois, and then you can get the chat with Ragster. Chris Wetz, you got me?
Yep.
So I didn't catch entirely your battle. I guess question one, walk me through your race.
Well, I'm a little surprised at the pace that Savian and Francois had in the race. I could keep up with them on a hot lap, but if I tried to match their pace in the race, I was going to go way over the 20x and get a penalty or crash the car. But I kind of just decided early on to just target Schofield and try to race with him. And so that's what I did. I just tried to keep the tires on it and try to stay ahead of Schofield.
I saw during the lapping process, it looked like Edwin Webb got involved in that battle, and he held up Schofield. Did you get held up by that, or were you ahead of him by that point?
I was ahead of him at that point. I think he only lost a second. Somehow, almost all the time I gained was when he was in the pits or during the pit stop cycle, so I'm not sure where he lost the time there.
And then you were ahead of Ragster in points, behind Martel. So I think without any points calculations in front of me, you should be still sitting third in points, especially with Clog not making it. So I guess give me a prediction for next week for Mid-Ohio, because there's no week off. We go straight back racing in Ohio next week.
Well, I think Mid-Ohio should be a better track than COTA is. I've never been good at COTA. I have some experience at Mid-Ohio from Road to Pro, so I had to do a ton of laps there. I actually skipped Road to Pro to run this.
I greatly appreciate that, sir. Do you have anyone you'd like to thank for your P3 result this evening?
No, just NASA for putting it on. Underfunded Motorsports. That's about it.
As I want to let everyone know, like we do every single race, this man has been the only man to race in every single NASA race. I won't say rallycross. Every single NASA race once per season in the last 11 years. So I want to personally thank you now that I can actually speak to you. And congratulations on your third place run. And we will see you next week in Mid-Ohio.
Thanks.
The ebbs and flows of a champion season, right? So you had that great time on Monday. You won the championship. You're looking like you're going to win the race. And then it all comes unglued. Francois Martel, walk me through your race.
Yeah, I just found out something about tires. When you go a great distance with them, they tend to degrade. I didn't know that. That's mind-blowing. Never felt that before. Yeah, so that was a struggle. I practiced the pit stop often, like really again and again. So like my strategy was to pit like early, not at the same time than the leader, then go aggressive in the race. But after the pit, man, the tires just gave up. I didn't know it was a tire giving up. I thought I was just slower for some reason, so I just kept pushing and kept pushing. So I made all sorts of mistakes, went sideways, went off track. Savian said like, hey, it's much faster when you go off track. Yeah, but I wasn't trying to do that. So yeah, such a struggle. But it was fun nonetheless. Like when you race super closely with a guy that is clean, this is peak iRacing. So disappointing with my disappointed with my result just a little bit, but still had fun.
I guess I want to know, and maybe you answered it. Forgive me, I'm sick. I said that 900 times, but you were leading, and then I guess walk me through the contact with Ramos, because you were driving and you were defending on Savian, and then you made contact, and then it just seemed like, did you burn up your tires, or did that damage affect you at all?
I don't think it was a damage. However, that might be a factor, slightly, because yeah, I think not from that point on. I anyway like at that time I was going slower, so maybe I picked up a little bit of damage. But yeah, like I this was in a super tight section, and it was Jared, right?
It was JP Ramos in the 64.
Oh, okay. JP. Yeah, he did the right thing. He stayed like on his line. I should have like turned to the left. I don't know what I was thinking. I thought he would go as fast as me coming out of that little chicane, but no, he wasn't, and I needed to go left. So it was just a stupid accident.
Last thing before the final question, I do want to give you some solace that obviously we mentioned Rallycross Championship, but you're still leading or you are leading the driver's points again after Clog didn't show up. So you have unofficially a 3-point lead over Ragster. I know the answer to this question, but I'm still going to ask anyway. Anyone you'd like to thank for your P2 result this evening?
I'm gonna start with the people that make this possible. Thanks to Woven Planet by Toyota. It's amazing that you guys care about sim racing. Again, Team Watson Racing, get my setup. And yeah, thanks for making the league.
I want to thank you for I was realizing as you're talking, you race in every single league race that I don't want to say because it's not just I anymore, that we create, and I greatly appreciate it. Justin, you got anything for our second place man?
No, I just great performance today, Francois. And good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you. I'll need it, honestly. This was rough. I'm sweating.
Alrighty, sir. We'll see you Monday at Sonoma or Thursday at Mid-Ohio.
Both.
Man of the hour, Savian Ragster, Justin Robichaud, all yours.
Savian, welcome to first place. How does it feel, my friend?
Oh my God, it feels incredible. It feels so good, especially this week with all the time and effort the whole team put in for it to pay off like that. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's super gratifying. I mean, we all heard your excitement at the end of that one. That must have felt really good. You were fighting with Francois a lot through that, and talk me through the last little bit up until there was a bit of a mistake. I think Francois bumped into somebody. What was going through your head chasing him so close for that long?
Yeah, so first off, Francois was very fast, very powerful drive from him today. But I could tell that he was pushing really hard and he was really overdriving his tires a bit. So my plan was to just kind of stay calm as much as I can, drive at 85% pace, not slide around, not get incident points. And then I got around him because he made a small mistake, and I was leading for a while. And then when I came out of the pit, oh my God, and I saw him next to me. I just about had a trouser-related incident, and then he got back around me, which was brutal. But I just stayed calm, kept running him down, and then I don't know what happened with that lapper. He just didn't get out of the way, and I capitalized on the mistake by the lapper. Honestly, the way that Francois lost the lead is pretty lame, but it worked out great for me.
Of course, and there was a big speed difference there. It was kind of a poor situation. But you mentioned staying calm and not getting incident points, and you were actually I want to note something tonight. You were actually the cleanest driver. You had 5 incident points, and that is the least of anyone. So just mad props, to be honest, to keep that much focus while chasing a driver down and holding a driver off and do that many, do that few incident points, which is the focus it requires to race here. That's quite incredible, Savian.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yes, I definitely am. My teammates probably think I'm very weird because the whole time I'm literally going, focus, focus, focus in my to myself.
like Lightning McQueen in Cars. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, great work today, Savian. We're gonna do the, who do you have to thank? I think we have a bit of an idea, but who do you have to thank tonight for your success?
I have to thank my teammates. They are awesome. They show up for practice. They put the time in, and they've all really come a long way. And seriously, I would not be here without them. We all sit down, we talk about things, we look through the telemetry together, we put the time in, and it's paying off. So thank you guys.
Thank you, Savian. Great work tonight, and hopefully this is maybe an omen of good things to come for Woven by Toyota Factory team. Or
I hope so. I hope
what do
we
you
can
think?
carry this momentum into Mid Ohio. I like that track a lot. So
Yeah,
we'll see what we can do.
Mid Ohio is a home track to Woven. I'm understanding.
Yeah, I guess COTA would be as well. We do have an office. Toyota has a big office in Texas, so it's really cool to do a lot of the U.S. based tracks.
Awesome. That's great. Well, look, we're racing next week too, so we're firing on all cylinders the next couple weeks, and I look forward to seeing you guys in Woven again there, and we'll pull out a good win or a good result in Mid Ohio.
Cool. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Savian. Have a good night.
And that emotion of first time winner is doesn't get old. Over 11 years that I've been doing this, it's certainly a fun one. As we'll get confirmation really quick on the results, we'll go over points, go over a couple programming notes, couple sponsor friends, then say goodnight on the Automotive Sports Network. So, Savian Ragster, our victor this evening. Francois Martel, second. Chris Wetz, third. Schofield, Dalton Lott, rounding out the top five. Brock Quinn, Eli Sasak, Cody Erdman, Jared Lott, Frank Klein, Jess Rakowski, Luke Solberg, Jake Robichaud, JP Ramos, Joseph DiGiacomo, Edwin Webb, and Justin Ament. Now, really quick, I'm confused. I'm actually really I guess we'll do final thoughts now. Where was Schofield's pace? We saw it in Sebring, we saw it in Tsukuba, and no disrespect until he put it under the wall. Where was Schofield today? He was fast in testing.
He was. I have no idea what happened, if it was weather related or if maybe there was maybe a bit of mismanagement of tires or maybe he lost focus. I mentioned it quite a few times tonight, but it takes a lot. Francois was talking about it, and I think when he hit that car, it broke his focus. I think it was done. It was done not from the damage, but just from the moment that you unclick from that whole circuit. It's really tough to get back into it. It's a really, really long lap. You have a long time to mull over that poor delta and get into a bad rap sheet getting into it. And if you've cooked the tires at that point, it's just it's a no-go. So one thing to note too, I think we got our fastest lap was set by Savian Reichster, so he got the double crown tonight.
Only car on the 44-second bracket.
Unbelievable. I put in some work here. My back was hurting one day, to be honest, and that's just mind blowing.
I just want to interject. By 0.2 of a second, the fastest lap.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So, we'll go over unofficial driver points exiting Austin, Texas, in the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge. Francois Martel holds the points lead. 3 points over Savian Ragster. Chris Wetz a further 3 down, so wow. 6 points between the top 3. Dalton Lott, David Schofield rounding out the top 5. Josh Klog falls from the lead after not racing this evening. Brock Quinn, Jared Lott, Frank Klein, and Jess Rakowski rounding out the top 10. Constructors Championship, Woven by Toyota Factory Racing, has, I thought I could see it, 8 points. Looks like as it refreshes at a potato quality internally over Uneven Gaming Motorsport. Pocket Sand Inc., which is Josh Klog by himself, in third in the championship. Team Watson Racing with 83. True North Esports, I think it's True North and Underfunded. They're together for Chris Wetz. They have 82. I don't know if that's correct on the graphic. Let me take a look off
That may
monitor.
be a bit outdated.
It's actually outdated, so apologies
Yeah.
there. Woven by Toyota's 215. Uneven Gaming is 184. Team Watson Racing 128. True North 122. Tied with Sequential with 122. So that's the top 5. Inaccurate from the graphic. Couple programming notes on the Automotive Sports Network before we say goodnight. Bryan Sawyer's bashing his keyboard because his graphics are broken. Rounds 8 and 9 of NASA Rallycross Lights from Iowa. That will be Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern on ASN On Demand. My commentary will say, tune in next for Wild Horse. It's not happening back-to-back anymore, because if you missed my opening, I said I deleted the commentary of Wild Horse before saving it because I'm really smart. So I'll have to re-record it. That'll be Sunday, hopefully. No pressure. For real, no pressure. Either way, it'll be 9 p.m. Eastern. Just check ASN On Demand for that. Myself on the call, Bryan Sawyer on the production truck. Then we will have the 10th and final round of the 28th season. Justin, can you pinch me? 28 seasons of the Overwatch Specialty Service NASA Rallycross Challenge. That'll be at Sonoma Raceway in California. That'll be on Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Myself, Cody Erdman, Philip Cross, Bryan Sawyer for that one. And normally it would be 2 weeks away, but a couple of scheduling things has pushed Mid-Ohio to 1 week from today. Round 4 of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge from the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course in Lexington will be next Thursday, August 24th, ASN Live, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself, Justin Robichaud, and Bryan Sawyer for that one. Just a reminder, our series is brought to you in association with Woven by Toyota. Mobility to love, safety to live. For more information, visit woven.toyota today. Our coverage tonight also brought to you by NordVPN. For up to 63% off a 2-year plan, visit nordvpn.com/ASNTVUSA. Finally, our cameras, which replicated the 2013 V8 Supercar camera placements here in Austin, Texas, and for the entire season, are provided by TrekCams22.com. Kind of got a final thought. I'll get another one before we say good evening. Justin, you first.
Oh, I think this race was fantastic. I loved every second of it. It was another race of having a hard time picking which battle to watch. We've used the double screen so much. It was a treat to have that set up, and I'm excited going into Mid-Ohio. I think I'm more excited just because it's happening in a week now and not 2 weeks. We had that long break, and it was a little bit too long, I think. So we'll go hard again next week at that track and bring you some awesome action. I can't wait to see if we get another new driver. Who knows where the strength and weaknesses will fall, next week, and who we'll have up there.
All I'll say is 3 different winners in 3 races and another first-time winner, and that's not even scratching the surface of what happened in the 2 lights races that you haven't watched yet. From all of us at the Automotive Sports Network, I don't have this written, so I've got to memorize it. Oh boy. Victor Valley, Justin Robichaud, Jess Rakowski, Cody Erdman, Philip Kraus, Bryan Sawyer. My name is Josh Mertz. I hope I have everyone. We hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Woven by Toyota NASA Sports Car Challenge tonight from Circuit of the Americas. Congratulations to Sabian Ragster, and be sure to join us Saturday evening or Sunday evening for lights, or Monday for supercars, or next Thursday for some more sports car action in Mid-Ohio. But until then, so long everyone.